Hi, welcome to step 2, and this is where we're going to find out now where there is a big stumbling block for some people when they don't believe that they've got an absolute right to be rich. Now we can start getting into the nitty-gritty of why we do what we do and find out how we can change our programming to enable us to move on and achieve greater things. We're programmed from a very early age to limit what we do, and the people that program us firmly believe that they're doing the right thing. It is not until later in life that we realise that we limit ourselves to only doing what we think we can do. The funny thing is that most teachers rarely dish out praise, and that would make all the difference in how we thought about ourselves later in life. Just imagine hearing "you can" rather than "you can't" during your formative years. It is this very early programming that gives us our confused beliefs about money and the people who have plenty of it. It seems that if we think that money is bad and the people that get hold of it are even worse, that will give us an inner defence to justify why we do not have as much as we want. Were you also told that money comes as a result of hard work? I'm sure you were, because once again that allows you to justify working long and hard to get an income. Let me tell you that hard work is not a prerequisite to earning large sums of money. Most people, once they understand these teachings, are amazed at how things change once they relax and allow things to come to them. I am sure that once you start questioning some of your beliefs about money, you will notice that is this information and advice that given a negative slant on money. Establishing some new information and replacing these misleading facts is essential to the reprogramming process. I hope you are slowly realising that your limiting beliefs are there purely to stop you from doing anything that you cannot appraise and evaluate in your favour. Most limiting beliefs are actually there as a defence mechanism. These limitations are based on information programmed into our subconscious from a very early age, usually by our very well-meaning parents. The funny thing is, they are passing on information that their parents programmed into them. When you think that there have been so many changes in the last 40 or 50 years, it is no wonder none of it seems to make sense now. The truth is, it never ever has. But now people have the resources to educate themselves, and they suddenly realise that there are alternatives to just accepting what life throws at you. As a word of advice here, I would like to say that you will get far more benefit from this course if you study it in isolation to any other course or book. The reason for that is, if you start trying to do little bits from lots of different sources, you will confuse yourself. If you follow this course correctly, you will definitely change the way you think, and that will definitely change your life. What we're trying to do in this step is to let you see that what you have been told in the past is having a detrimental effect on your future. And the sooner you remove all the rubbish that you quite innocently loaded up while you were growing up, the better. Some statements that you may be able to remember hearing when you were younger could include, "Rich people are not like us," "Being rich won't make you happy," "Money's not everything," "Filthy rich," "Stinking rich," "Rich is sin," "Only hard work will make you rich," "Money is the root of all evil." Do all those things strike a bell? You see how we grew up to think it was somehow wrong to want to have lots of money? Our parents were only trying to prevent us from being disappointed with life. They told us not to expect riches to rightly be ours for the taking, in the same way they prevented you from hurting yourself when you were little. It was a protection mechanism. But once that thought is processed into our young fertile mind, it sits there and puts down roots and grows. And every time we hear those words, the thought becomes stronger, and it becomes a habit to think this way, and the habit turns into a belief. But the belief is not the truth. Once you know the truth, you can really accelerate your progress. Just try and imagine a group of children growing up in a room where the only visual input was the television or the internet. All day and every day they would see images of people and games displayed on the screen. They would accept that this was the way the world really was. They could only form their ideas and beliefs from the information that they had received up to that point. Imagine then what it would be like if one of those children ventured outside and saw and felt all the wonderful things that are part of the real world. He would see textures, subtle colours, shapes and angles. He would smell the air of the sea and the smell of the traffic. He would touch and experience all these things. What a task he would have trying to convince the others what was actually happening. Even though he was telling them what he had experienced, they would still have trouble believing him until they saw it for themselves. It is my intention to tell you what I have experienced and hope that you are excited enough to follow the directions and experience these things for yourself. At this stage, we need to start taking on board a new reality. If you are prepared to open your mind and accept the truth, you will have taken a giant leap forward. We need to really believe that wanting to become rich is not wrong or greedy. It's good to want to be rich. It's okay. It is natural to want to grow your life to the full. Plants do not have the ability to alter their programming. They're just programmed to be the very best they can be. The funny thing is that we're all programmed at birth to be the very best we can be, but because we were given the power of reasoning, we decided to reprogram ourselves to just fit in. It is really inspirational to watch a plant grow. Even if it is left without water and starts to wilt, all you do is give it water and all of a sudden it freshens up and gets on again with just becoming the best plant it can be. No woe is me from a plant, just a focused desire to be the best it can. Are you still using your old ideas about money and referring to the quotes we mentioned earlier when I said you need money to live a full and contented life? If not, then pat yourself on the back because you've jumped the first major hurdle. You can now see how important it is that we plant the right seeds, because your mind does not understand whether something is good or bad for you. It will grow anything you plant. That is why it is never too late to be able to change, provided that you want to change. The sooner we can get some new plants into your mind and get them growing, the better. We will need to get all the old unwanted plants out first. What we need to do is allow our mind to understand our new thoughts about money, because until we truly accept these new ideas, the old thoughts will dig in and refuse to budge. The truth is that money is neutral. It is neither good or bad. It is what we decide to do with it that gives it any character. So in reality, if you're a good person, money will be good. But if you're a bad person, one could reasonably assume that money will be bad. I do not buy into the situation of just amassing money for the sake of it, because that will more than likely lead to your ignoring other major parts of these teachings. For example, your family, your spare time, your leisure. One of the best ways to destroy your family life is to be permanently busy. We're going to discuss and show you how to balance your life so that you do not get to the end and wonder what you did with it. We're also going to explain why you must look after yourself first to have a happy, fulfilled life. We will also learn about the power of gratitude, the power of giving, and the biggest one of all, the power of forgiving. I love that one, and I will share a great story that happened to me that will show you how wonderful forgiving someone can be. At this point, try and start thinking what you will do when your circumstances start to change. Imagine what sort of lifestyle you will have. Imagine how it will feel to be able to do things that you never dreamed of. Imagine what sort of house you would like to live in. These are all things that you must have a very clear picture of, because when we start creating your vision, being able to imagine these things clearly and feel the excitement will be very important. I hope you're relaxing into the fact that you have every right to be rich and looking forward to the many ways that you can get your share. In this course, you'll hear some stuff that your subconscious mind is going to try and reject. You will, I know, have voices in your head giving you advice as how this new information cannot possibly be true. Tell these voices to be quiet for a while, because you are getting ready to take on some life-changing information. Remember, these are the same voices that have prevented you up till now from living the life you are capable of. The other voices you must try and avoid are the real voices of family and friends who are going to try and derail you. There are lots of agendas for these people. Family will try and stop you to once again save you from possibly making a mistake. Friends might try and derail you because they do not want you to leave the circle. Workmates will try and derail you because they may actually be happy stuck where they are. And all these people may still have the old view about wealth that I am sure you now know to be untrue. You getting rich will not make you bad. You will find that to make all this work, you have to aim for something that you have no idea how it will happen. The reason for this is that if you aim for something you think you can achieve, there is nothing to pull you through the mental barrier, and you will find you keep coming back to where you are as the default position. When trying to imagine your life in the future, go into fantasy land and just let your mind wander that way. By ignoring the limiting beliefs, you will be able to create a vision that is much closer to what you want and not just something you think may be possible. So have we convinced you that you are only limited by what you think is possible? You have the same equipment to obtain money as the wealthy people, and that the universe is impartial and does not reject requests based on any of our preconceived ideas. If so, you are now ready to take on some more information to help you achieve your goals. So I'm going to see you in the next step, number 3, where we're going to discuss about our thoughts and how powerful our thoughts are. Thank you.